President Trump directing the FDA to investigate whether a drug that's used to treat malaria can also be used to treat COVID-19. As of now, of course, there are no proven treatments for the virus, but Nine Health medical expert Dr. Paul Coley is with me now. So we're talking about different treatments, and everybody is scrambling to find something that works. Going back through other outbreaks that we've had, is that where people start when they try to research what might work against this situation?
Yeah, so a lot of viruses do the same thing, and there's really 3 steps in the viral process that can be targeted. The first is the virus getting into the lungs, the second is the virus replicating, and then the third is the inflammatory response that's triggered by the replication. And the drugs that are under investigation are really targeting all 3 of those steps. So the first step, the virus getting into the lungs, that's hydroxychloroquine or chloroquine that the president talked about earlier today. The second step is the replication of the virus. That's Kaletra, which has been used for HIV, or we're looking at remdesivir, which has been used for Ebola. And then the third step is inflammatory response, and we're looking at some antibodies that can target that.
Those of us who don't study science or medicine want the answer yesterday.
Yeah.
How long does it really take to figure out what does work?
It takes quite a while, Tom, unfortunately, because not only do you have to make sure that it's effective first in animal models, then you have to try it in humans, then you have to make sure that it's safe before you start giving it to people. So with hydroxychloroquine, we know that it's safe in certain doses because we've used it forever for malaria. It's also currently approved for lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. The reason we became interested in it for this particular virus is because it had some efficacy against SARS in monkey models. And now we've done a couple of human trials that have come out of China.
Do you have any concern that in such a hurry to find an answer that the complete raft of testing will never be done, that they will have to take a shortcut or two and hope for the best?
I am concerned, and these drugs can have real side effects, cardiomyopathies, liver side effects, visual side effects. So rushing and taking shortcuts can sometimes lead us to more trouble, particularly as we're starting to use it in large populations. And the data we have is from very few people. One study had 36 patients, and only 20 got the drug, and the other study from China only had 100 patients.
So that's not a significant amount.
No, and compare that to the drugs we normally use, like for heart attacks, that's 20,000 patient trials. Right. So we're looking at apples and oranges here.
Sadly, we're reporting of 4 Colorado deaths now, but all people above the age of 60. One thing that we're concerned about is it seems like the CDC is now talking about how effective COVID-19 has been in attacking people we thought were not immune but not prone to the disease, the younger people.
Yeah, the message had been for so long that really it's a disease of older people, but the report that came out yesterday from the CDC said that here in the United States in the last few weeks what we've seen is that 38% of the people who ended up in the hospital were under the age of 55.
Because sadly we see the spring break video of kids just saying, I'm having the time of my life, I'm going to be fine, and obviously not concerned about carriage of the disease, much less their own health and well-being. But their own health and well-being is at stake, just like everyone.
Absolutely, and they were less likely to die, the younger people, but they were certainly very likely to get into the hospital. 38% is nothing to sneeze at.
And you've always talked about some long-term impacts as well. Yes. Pilot, it's always good to see you. Thanks for bringing us up to date. We will be right back.